Okay, part two. Somehow or another I hit the off button for a change. Which doesn't happen as often on this new model. Oh, jeez, guys. I'm gonna dump the dogs. Yeah, so, because I left my grape sprouts. If they don't get into shade and water soon, well, that's so much for the rooting experiment. Yeah, so, November the 11th, 2011 is to be the grand unveiling of the internet 2, which, I'm sorry, it's not going to last long. Good for 2 days, 3 days. If the double comet tail plasmic shorting effect in the interplanetary magnetic field does a Carrington event, times many more because our atmosphere is highly changed. Well, there you go. There's the sec. Distractions. Boy, I need that assistant. Sam, are you picking this up? Okay. I'm a dirty old man, and like you said, you got a boyfriend in Kelowna. Really did like you though, kid. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but it's the truth. Okay, well, let's try and finish this up now. So I walk back and get my grip specimens. So, November the 11th. Flicks the switch, turns it on, which means you better have all your fucking data backed up good. If all you got is an external hard drive, put her on there, put her in a good solid Faraday cage, or a double Faraday cage with, I don't know, some of that carbon foam that you find in your electronic equipment, packing cases. That would do. A lot of those surplus military cases for electronic instruments are really good for this, especially when you take that and then you put it in a, say, an iron Faraday cage, which could be a no-gap 45-gallon drum. I'd take the seal off, clean that up, seal her up. There, waterproof too. Of course, electromagnetic storage degrades faster, even if it's super protected like that. So, what's the next common option? Burn DVDs of all your data. Start with your most valuable first. A little more expensive, but a lot less convenient. But also, especially if they're stored properly, a hell of a lot more durable. Oh, now where did they go? Damn, doing too many things at once. Oh, there they are. Get over there. So, November the 13th, the double comet tail crossing, which are coming from in at the sun. Elein being one, the red one. Apparently, iron oxide is rumored to have been detected in the coma, and so I can't pull the name for the other one. Oops, walked past. The other one that crosses Earth's orbit just days ahead. I'm just gonna go out on a limb here. We're gonna combine it with your red katchina, blue katchina beliefs to entice you to look further. See if this guesswork lines up with what you guys all want to believe, and were messages that we're told, apparently, at least contained within the legends and myths passed forward from Hopi Indians. and others. Red katchina, blue katchina. So what would the blue katchina liable to be? Assuming it's referring to comets of Earth orbit crossing significance, electromagnetically speaking, plasmatically speaking, which is the essence of life itself. Okay, so iron oxide would give you your red katchina. Well, these are things to look for with your human eye. Blue katchina, blue katchina. Cobalt. Not too likely. Possible. Copper sulfate, very common, quite likely in comet oblation layers, if not within. So let's assume the blue is copper sulfate. Very, very conductive in different ways electromagnetically than iron. So these two cross, and then Earth crosses that, and then this and that happens on the sun. Okay, you're getting the picture of how a mega Carrington event can certainly come about under such conditions. Oops, just gonna recondition this battery here with a desulfator of sorts, because it was sitting for a while. Poor old dead by his own artwork Edwin. Oh, there. See? We're putting her up for sale, Edwin. Edwin Freestein. May you rest in peace. It's actually quite nice inside. This isn't an advertisement, it's a eulogy. The poor old Edwin Freestein. It's even got a stereo DVD player. Guess I never tried that. Yeah, I did. I did before I bought this. And it's got a bed, and let's see if we can. I would trade it to somebody that thought they could keep it alive. Maybe an art collector that wants the full Monty of his 78,000 plus pieces. Well, I guess they're not his pieces anymore, but alright. As executor there, that Etsy Zedzy guy is really going to be pissed that I'm talking this way, but so what? I'm dying anyhow. Nothing against this Etsy Zedzy bald-headed twerp, but breathing comes out in funny forms. After all, aren't we all just human? Or partly, or something. Okay, let's go put these babies in some water. These babies. Yeah, so, oh shit, I forgot he sprayed this shit yesterday. And now I got it all over my arm and my shirt. Yeah, let's just put these in the shade. Talk about distracted, eh? So there you go. There's some raw material for building your YouTubes to ask this question. And believe me, the astronomers, they need not just public funding to answer these very important questions of survival, continuance of species. They need Imagineering. They're so structured in order to do their compartmentalized specialties, which is a very weak thing of our science, by the way. They need all the Imagineers they can get. All Sky Survey. Spaceweather.com will set you in the direction if you choose to participate and perhaps even make a paid career out of it, assuming there's such things in the future. Talking to you, college students, university students, fresh out of school, don't know where the hell you're going to turn, but you're getting pressured by your parents that want to nudge you out of the nest. Not because they don't love you or can't afford you, but because they want you to become all you can and have fun doing it. Good, clean, healthy fun. They need our Imagineering. They've set it open, and that's pretty big. That's pretty risky for people to come out of mainstream science and venture forth like this, right? Risking whatever illusions or delusions of tenure they may have had, ridicule and ostracization out of the community by so-called peer pressure. Hardly a peer scientist would never ever do that. They may propose leading questions to answer conflicts of hypotheses, data or theories, or fact. But they would never look to use peer pressure to start the whole essence of peer review. Never ever would they do that. That's a fake crap scientist that would do that. Not your equal. Not your colleague, not your friend. Not your Shadich. So, all Sky Survey. If it seems like they're being snubbing you or unappreciative or unwelcoming or fearful, I think we just covered why. So stop hating all the people that work at NASA or Goodart or European or any of that as bad, worthless, disgusting deceivers. Yeah, some of them are, willingly and unwillingly. I guess we all are from time to time, willingly or unknowingly. But don't paint them with that absolute brush just for the convenience of your peer pressuring out your belief system when fake or real science doesn't agree with it. And I didn't mean to do duality, I think you guys call it, with that statement. It just kind of, but I suppose that in fact you may imply that on your own interpretations. I'm not showing you this because of anything significant necessarily. I'm just showing this to you that haven't seen it. Yeah, let's take you to where this all comes from. That's the nickname of this particular collage of data, and it has at times had faults and been corrupted. Oh, come on. Fucking thing. Okay, I know what to do. Let's just go to spaceweather.com. Spaceweather.com. This is, oh, no wonder. Ha ha ha. Okay, here we go. Right. Forgot. I was being interrogated illegally without asking. So I unplugged her before I went out for a walk. Okay, here, let's just try this again. Okay, here, go to space weather first. Yeah, so this is Dr. Tony Phillips, who I understand is still on tenure with NASA or one of its subdivisions, or maybe several, I don't know. This is his own personal thing, I understand, which he's done out of his own generous time donation. Obviously media, I think I'm safe to assume, is one of his key duties with the space agencies, because I see he authors a lot of their releases. He has to answer to a lot of people, and sometimes he gets it wrong too. And basically, eyes left is the current, normally updated data. And yeah, the government has tampered with this, including custom screens to others. Basically, they're trying to spy and see, well, how could you possibly know this? You must be working with somebody. No. This is what truth, honor, honesty begats. He has lots and lots of good stuff. He tries his best to give updated, conservative space weather projections, news, and links. Right, so all these are links. They'll take you to all kinds of sites, not just NASA and affiliates. Fortunately, Tony, you're still lacking an obvious archives link. Sometimes it appears, and I know, you only have so much money, and you can only afford so much server space out of your own piddly little pockets, and you're trying to get this self-funding, and I'm sure you could use help with it. There's some of the university or college kids that have these skills that want to try and, gain some job experience or something. Hit him up. He usually has a link here somewhere to email. Follow it for a while, and eventually you'll see if there's an occasion where he's asking a question for the inside community, outside, and Imagineering or hard data question he wants to pose. You'll see his contact link. He normally has lots and lots and lots of links. I've never actually met Tony in person, but I accidentally stumbled across his channel, and of course I'm defending him from another space weather hobbyist. Kind of, well, I'm sure Tony laughed about it too. So that's as close as we ever came to direct contact. It was over his YouTube channel, which I don't even have the name of it right now handy. And I think his intention was to remain anonymous. Sorry, Tony. But since when can we hide from the truth? So you can get, to try and fund, occasionally you'll have somebody doing advertising, like selling solar telescopes and filters, and own your own meteorite gem. People will market their meteorites through his channel. He's got I know he's not trying to pay for his time. He's trying to keep the thing self-funded, because how much money can you spend on server space? And bad enough the guy's probably giving up every fucking moment of his personal time to try and keep this going and do his career duties, his paid career duties. And sometimes there's cash prizes for data submissions. These are people that submitted pictures. I've even got one under Blood Moon, so I've got a little page on space weather. That was, I don't know, well, when we had that Blood Moon. Okay, well, I'm gonna close this up because I keep losing concentration. Too much pain. I have to stop and smoke some eyewear, but I've got to do something with the plants before I kill them. Okay, so there you go. Red katchina, blue katchina. There's your titles. What the hell are they? November the 13th, which it'll already have crossed Let's see, I wrote down the rough. Yeah, the what I'm nicknaming the blue katchina passes in front of Earth's orbital path on approximately November the 8th, if my notes were right. Whereas Elein passes on, we pass through the Coma Trail on the 13th. So a little solar wind can mix those all up and change things 100 different ways, and who knows what our fucked up, our unusual atmosphere is going to be like then. Are we going to get more Fukushima happening as the criticality changes states, stages, and locations as it's melting deep within the Earth? I don't know. Rumors, speculation. What you can be sure of, you'll never get the fucking truth out of the paid authorities that are supposed to watchdog for us, quite clearly. And even if they did try and risk their career, as soon as the data was caught, it would be mopped up. This is what the science community has to deal with. So don't blame them for the odd little bit of cowardly and self-preservation. They're not going to do any good if they're locked up, dead, or silenced, are they? No matter what metal they're made of. Yeah, Elein's closest, just to try and eliminate a little confusion, I've marked September 27th as Elein's closest pass, which is not what we're talking about, right? These aren't massive gravitational Nibiru's or Planet X's or Jupiter times 5 size masses that came in from outer space. We would have known that a long time ago. Yeah, clearly it seems clear that what IBEX was is continuing to monitor in Voyagers 1 and 2 towards the nose of the heliosphere, the plasma ribbon. That I see no indication that that was one solid mass. Almost certainly that's a electromagnetic effect as we go closer into the local interstellar cloud. Shadowing to some degree what happens here on Earth with our whole Earth comforter, our atmosphere, our magnetosphere, the whole shitteroo. Well, the sun's got the same thing. We've gone over this very briefly and haphazardly several times in my videos. Go check the list under my uploads, or go to the playlist. I've started to put some of my own uploads in with mainstream media and other uploads that are in the playlist, like Being a Star, common and manufactured comforters. Go in the playlists. Look through. There's all kinds of in progress books being assembled. Looky, see here books. Edutainment books. Yes, that's what we were calling them. Alright, I'm gonna tend to those grape clippings and then my own health and needs. Thanks for coming for the walk. I'll get this. This is part 2. So I'll get this uploaded, and then I'll upload number 1, and maybe by Sunday night before you go to bed tonight, you'll be watching them, and you'll wake up Monday morning with something to do. If you're out of ideas and looking for new things to make edutainment uploads on, in whatever fashion suits your abilities, your passions, and your goals. And when somebody says you're nuts, you'll never turn this into money, hey, this is the one thing that we could have, or may even still be able to, by some unknown technology. Maybe light beam transmission out the back end of our heliosphere can traffic and sell or trade or swap out into the cosmos. Yeah. Obviously, unless we're paid in advance, we're not going to get any return on our investment, but maybe whatever survives, if anything survives from what's on the horizon, well, maybe that'll be their inheritance. The dividends paid back for data we sent out, and the all-important creative edutainment. I'm telling you, that's the one thing we can practically now market out into the galaxy. Free, open, and use copyright. Get it! Get it! You guys get it? Well, if you don't, just ask. I'll do my best to give you leading questions in reply. Because you gotta figure it out yourself, right? You know. But not for me. Hey. Catch us all later. Here, let's see if we can get you a nice picture to end this on. Oh, wait, we can't end yet. I didn't show you. Oops. There's a meteorite, see? Quite cheap. They really would make good gifts. You know, like 30-40 bucks you can buy yourself a sizable sample. Come in little documentation cases and certification cases. Ooh, there's a pretty one. Oh, that's a mineral sample from Earth. So that's a new thing that they're marketing. Quite unique. Keep in mind, figuring out the Globus event and all other kinds of astrophysics relies on if we can sell some of the samples after examination, we can perhaps fund and educate the infrastructure to go collect these things, which is part of my mandate in solving the Clovis event riddle. Poor old Edwin Priesting was going to join me in this endeavor before things like the Fukushima and the global Zionists bring their last-minute ditch effort to start World War III and dominate and take everything. Fucking mindless buffoons. All they can think of is their own greed, cheat, and gain because they've lied so much their minds don't work. Okay, we're going to end this with my favorite. There. This is your own tools. Again, this is private. He begs for donations. Don't know if they're tax write-offs or what that you can do, but you know, given it can be done electronically, I'm sure even a modest $5 or $10 gift is well worth getting, so he can too pay his internet bills. This is actually, now I think it's it may be a team. Solar Watcher, Bar Car Troller, Caller, Bar Car Caller. This is the same fella, I think. Again, never met in person, but we've collaborated. Roughly, I mean. By collaborated, I forced myself and my ways onto people. They're wiser than to, much more conservative than to collaborate like with a loose cannon like me. Because to get caught doing so is to generally buy a lot of adversarial positioning. See, that's the one we took you to. If you click on these, they'll all open up right here. We'll just show you a few. See? This one is based mainly on, originally on South Korea satellites. And I think the Thelmus feed goes into the calculations. That's well, that's the whole Earth Comforter. That's a representation of it. Magnetosphere, mainly. Magnetopause. atmospheric heating. Yeah, this is good. If only I didn't have those poor grapevines crying out saying, we need cool water. I don't really expect this experiment to work, but because it's the wrong time of year. This is Canadian Magnetic Observatories. And this is all very reliable because it's based on many sites. And so far I've seen very little electronic warfare tampering coming out of the global Zionists. Surprised Harper hasn't shut it down yet. The Stephen Harper government, like they shut down our radiological fallout detection grid and up the levels by thousands, sometimes thousands of times on food and water and air. I'm sure he'll try and shut this down. Which is more reason why we need an all-sky survey infrastructure in place to supplement this now and back up should the system fail. All kinds of shit. And so these will open up into some real sure you all recognize some of this stuff. And sometimes these satellites go offline, so since he has time, he'll put up a substitute and try new ones. And these are almost real time satellite data tools, summaries of them, to help this space weather enthusiast, hobbyist, watcher, adept, professional